bird on a tree. I'm just sitting here. I got time, it's clear to see. From up here, the world seems small. We can sit together.
Hi, this is Monica Ramirez, Warrior of Love, and today we're in the heart of the artist talk. And today we have different kinds of artists, like we have experiment painters, sculptors, poets, writers, etc. Now today we have a musician, and a very good musician. That his name is Rick Phoenix Manzo, and he plays in the band Beyond the Scars. He's a songwriter, and he's gonna tell us a little bit more about who he is and what he inspired him, and when he started, and how's been his career as an artist. Because this is basically to know a little bit behind what is the creative soul and mind of each one of the artists. That's our very personal objective, and also passion of some of the humans that we are call ourselves artists. And Rick, it is really my pleasure to have you here. Thank you for accepting. And
thank you very much for having me.
And tell us how you started to become how do you become a musician, and what inspired you?
Well, pretty much it's started a long time ago, and pretty much I've been in and out of bands for a long time. I'm getting close to I'm going to be 41, so I've been in and out of bands. But it all started pretty much in a high school type of little project band called Alternatives Inc. That was something where I was playing guitar, and I didn't sing at that time, and I pretty much took over duties on singing, and I started songwriting, and ended up in a band called Orion's Legacy, which later became Drain of Life. And we won a battle of bands, 25 out of 25 bands at Mel Hart's, our very first show. So that's where it really started out for me. And I just pretty much ended up in A Day of Ashes later. No, Father State, then A Day of Ashes. Then I ended up pretty much after releasing our first album in 2009. And everything, 2014, I think was the last time I performed with A Day of Ashes. And then I actually decided to go forward by myself. And, right now I'm actually currently working on the very first I Beyond Scars record.
Sounds very interesting. And how is being by yourself?
Oh man, it's something totally new. Definitely, I did branch out in maybe about 5 years ago when I first decided to actually do I Beyond Scars as a project, and I wrote a country song. I actually have a feature in there with Jenny Vasalas. She's from Couch Elsa area, and she ended up doing the female vocals on a country rock ballad that I did for I Beyond Scars, and I did that at Sign of Madness in Weslaco, Texas. Shout out to Rick Charles for helping me out and producing that song. And it's pretty much it's not going to be the same style that I plan to for the new record, but definitely working on a lot of music and hopefully have some kind of release in 2022.
That is, it is very different how we all artists are. We have the same way of creativity, but our point of view of surviving as an artist, it is very different. Like I was talking with Valente Rodriguez about that there be a team as an actor. You have to have a team to produce any film or any or plays or whatever. And as a painter or sculptors, we work by ourselves. It is very different, and but at the same time, what we need is spectators and supporters that are the
Yes.
ones that are going to be supporting our creativity side. And that's another thing that I noticed in the 2021. Since the pandemic started in the 2020, it was very very hard for the majority of the artists. How
Oh
was
yeah.
how was for you? Because all restaurants and all big places just closed down. How was for you as a musician? How it affected you?
Well, I mean, I haven't really been on stage in a while, but it did kind of like bring me to getting to know guitars. By the way, I have like 40 or 50 of them, I think. Um, I did become a collector. I ended up, getting better at guitar and starting to songwrite, and definitely like started doing little performances like on the internet like this, and even brought forth uh, you know actually doing a show for my uncle who has stage 4 lung cancer. It was called Rock Relief, and we did that in January of 2021. So, but for me, like, it was kind of a good thing that it felt like everything kind of stopped in a way, you know what I mean? So that I can catch up because I've been so far behind. So, yeah, it was a positive thing for me in a way, but it was hard to get through with everything that was going on, and everything affecting everybody. But still, the community still came together like for a good cause and everything like that. So it brought a lot of positivity, even though it was in a negative type situation.
Yes, I what I noticed in the case of many painters, including myself at the beginning, I can sit down in front of with a canvas and it's like I don't know what I'm gonna paint.
Yeah,
The inspiration was gone, completely gone, and I was like, oh my god, I have all the time. I'm in lockdown and I can paint. This is horrible, a nightmare. So yes, we I
you
changed
got
it.
is that painter's block also, like kind of writer's block, or?
Yes, like a writer's block, there is an artist block too.
Oh,
So
okay.
it happens, and it just happened in that time, and it was like okay, and I just focus my energy into something else, and it's like it will come back. I just have to relax, let go the fear and so forth, because at the beginning it was a lot of fear, and the fear
Yeah,
is not very conducive for creative people. It is we can paint our sadness or our happiness, or we can create. We're more creative in our sadness or in our happiness, but not in the
yeah,
fear base. In the fear base is when it's make it harder for the creative minds to actually produce something. And uh, and and yes, we were behind in many things because of life, and that it would not have enough time for all our projects that we wanted to do before, and lockdown gave us that time. But how was your creative side affected?
I think in as a being creative, I think that it did inspire me. Like, it motivated me to you know I'm the type of person, like, you tell me you tell me it's, you can't do it or something like that. Well, I'm gonna do it. So that's pretty much what it did for me. So like it was a good thing. Like, looking back on it, it was a good thing for me, like personally, not for everybody else. Just personally, like, I felt like I caught up with finding myself and then being inspired. Because I mean, I am a dark person. I think I do better when there's that type of atmosphere, I guess, under pressure, that type of stuff. So, I mean, that's the way I am.
No, I do agree with you at the same time, because no one learns from their successes, only from the mistakes that we have done. And
Hmm.
when we are there, we're under pressure, and it's like and we couldn't go out, so it was the only way it was going in,
Yeah,
and to confront ourselves and our own fears and our everything. and that's what we grow as a humanity, and you start seeing things in another way. And I see you very that you adapt to the technology at the same time. Like you mentioned that you have done.
I'm trying. I'm trying.
It's always challenging because there are factors outside of ourselves that we can't control, and that always gonna happen. At least to this day with the technology we have. And but you were saying that you were doing shows online too.
Yeah, I mean, I became more of, more fan base and everything on like Facebook and Instagram and everything. And at the same time, just, like actually, getting the courage to actually play, even performing with my fiance who's done a couple of songs on stage with me for the Rock Relief. And we had a couple of shows this past year. And, that was pretty cool to get back out there. I haven't been active out there since 2014, but before we started doing the shows, we definitely took advantage of playing a song or two here and on Facebook and stuff like that, YouTube and stuff. So
That is very nice. I'm gonna see if the technology permit me and I can share one in the video of your songs, and if technology, of course, help us. But I have to ask you something else. When you're writing a song, what inspired you to do it, to come out those letters and so forth? Because you're a songwriter. So, what inspired
I,
it?
I, I think it definitely the moment, life. I think that definitely inspires. If I'm going through something, it's definitely an outlet that I can express myself through and write lyrics or come up with a riff now, because before I didn't I didn't really do most of the guitar stuff. So now, I mean, I'm doing mostly everything. So yeah, I mean, pretty much life, anything that I'm going through, people inspiring me, with the things that happen to them, or sometimes I used to write more from my perspective, and now I can write a song, on what happened to somebody else and tell the story. You know what I mean? Because before I felt like I was like limited and everything, and I've definitely matured in my songwriting, guitar playing, and singing.
I have a question. Then, how you do you have an artist in particular that got you hooked in certain way to express yourself as a musician that influenced you?
Oh man, I got so many influences from music to anything. I mean, but musically, I think I started out. I think my very first album was, it was definitely a Bon Jovi. I remember listening to, I'm sorry, listening to "Slippery When Wet," and one of my favorite all-time songs, definitely that always pumps me up or anything, and is "Wanted Dead or Alive" by Bon Jovi. But there's several artists out there. It just depends on what kind of genre. But man, I take from everything. Everything, all types of genres, rap, anything. So yeah, I mean, inspiration, pretty much music and life.
How would you describe your music?
My music, in the past or now?
Well, in the past and now.
Past, I think limited, but still not bad for not knowing what I was doing, and going through a lot of, I guess you could say, growing pains. Definitely not knowing how to, play guitar, how to write a song properly, how to use your voice in the studio properly. I listen to some of my old songs, and I'm like, man, I sounded so tiny with my my voice and the tuning I was singing in. Sorry. So definitely, a lot more mature now and very experimental because it's totally different now. I got more things to say. I got experience and definitely inspiration to get back out there and have some fun. Have some fun out there and definitely see if maybe somebody will like a song and it'll inspire them or they can understand what I was going through or stuff like that definitely that's what I think.
And what gender it is? What
I'm sorry.
what kind of not gender? What kind of genre? Yeah. Sorry, my English.
Genre, right now, well, I don't want to put a limitation or anything on Beyond Stars, but I think right now, I would probably say that I'm getting a little bit heavier again, due to like tuning differently, and definitely with everything that's gone through this past, the past 2 years, just definitely a little darker, but at the same time with like a little hope, some hope in the music. That's what I'm aiming for.
Do you have a song that you would like to share with us?
Like play?
Yes.
Oh, I wasn't prepared for that one.
Oh no, if you're not, we I can try to share later on in a video or something like that.
Yeah, I can do one later or something or send it to you. But
Yes.
yeah, I just got this guitar and we put all these new. We got the new. This is a very heavy guitar, like in sound. So I don't know. Let me see. You can tell it's a little heavy. It's an awesome guitar. It's a Fender. So I wasn't really tuned right now, so I was like, oh, should I just hold it just for so I can have my hands?
It's cool. Hey, I wanted to.
I have a lot of guitars in here. I'm telling you right now. I have like 40 to 50 guitars, and I work on them and everything. So I tried to put a couple back here, so you can see, but there's just way too many, and this room is very small.
I wanted to ask also, how do you, like right now the business are opening in Texas, or at least where we are, and because not everywhere, there are many places that are still in lockdown in the world, but where we are we're not in lockdown, and it is hard to get a gig right now, or in any restaurants or bars or places wherever. Concerts, I believe they're canceled, but restaurants, I believe they're open.
I think right now that it's actually opening up little by little because there's several shows coming back. A lot of bands here in the Valley are getting out there. Actually, some of them, some friends of mine like Amora Guardian, they're from Harlingen. They actually are touring right now, like the U.S. and so it's opening up again. So that's definitely my focus on getting the new music out and getting out there and playing some rock and roll for everybody.
And I used to own a art galleries, cultural center, and many musicians played there. Art Awakenings, they used to name, and something that I always
I remember that place.
yes, that was mine. But one of the things that I always heard from the musicians is that they like to play in there because people went there to listen to them. It was kind of like a concert. It was more than background music. And because in other places they have to play covers and not originals, and for me it was exactly the contrary. They have to have originals more than covers to play in my place. So it was a very different concept. But how if you feel that you have to play covers to get a job as a musician in a place?
Oh wow, that's a good question. Never been asked that before. But I've really always done more original. Like I've done some covers, maybe one or two here and there, but I've always been, you know, and whatever band I've been in, we've done our original music, you know, and you know it's been pretty good. Like we've gotten lucky, and you know we've gotten to play at several places here, even in Texas, and you know at your place too. I believe you played there a couple of times, and that was pretty cool. But yeah, I mean that's pretty much originals have been always my thing, but I wouldn't you know shut down an idea of doing maybe a little remake of a song to make it a little heavier or something like that in my own way.
And how hard is to play covers? Because at the same time you have the I've forgotten the name of the association. After, well, they went to my business.
Right.
They charged me for playing covers, and like
Oh,
I'm one of the few places in McAllen where I was my business that is like that I require original songs, not covers. But how do you guys deal with that? Because they're always going to be copyright unless
oh,
it's
I,
100 years.
oh, you mean is it harder to get like a gig if you don't do the covers?
Yes, because there is existed a copyright all the
Yeah,
time. So
yeah.
and they can
I don't think we
may
I
not.
don't think we've ever had a problem with that. Like it's just you know like I've always done is just our original music, and any place that we've ever gone to uh, has accepted you know us because we have our demos or our CD, and we're like, hey, this is us. You bring them your information, this and that, or they probably already heard from us or something from being on you know on the radio or something like that. So they've given us a chance. You know, in the past, the last big gig I think was opening up for Small Empty Soul and Head P. Head P, those are national acts. They were touring at the time, and I think Small Empty Soul, which has been on the radio, Q 4.5, they ended up backing out last minute, but that still was probably one of my last big shows that we did, and that was like 2014.
Hmm.
That was at Aces North, by the way. Aces North, right? Yeah.
And if you had a choice to perform somewhere, where would be your best choice?
Oh wow! Like anywhere in the world, or just
Yeah, like because I know there are many places that you can perform. You know, like bars,
yeah.
restaurants, concerts, etc., etc. But what would be your best if you could play in somewhere?
Well, with me, I mean, I'm not too picky. As long as there's an audience out there, a good sound system, I'm there. You know, I'll play anywhere. So you know, as long as it gets me to you know experience the world and to you know be able to have fun on stage and hopefully gain a new fan or so you know to like our music, you know, that's where I'm at with that.
And something that I do notice also with the bands that play in Art Awakening is that I had it for I opened in 2000 and I closed it in 2006. So and I had bands and musicians almost every week or twice a week, and I saw bands starting and not lasting, and other ones lasting, but they was like main person and the band. Like well, right, like right now I can mention this, like Jay Cortez and Recipe for Trouble, the band, you know, or like Sandra Nicholson and a company. But it was those are the ones that I saw that to this day exist.
Yeah.
But the bands that they disintegrate, it was the majority. It's sometimes even
Yeah.
3 months, 6 months, and they didn't last long. How
hmm
how you handle that because you have to start all over again every
Oh
time.
my God, that's a good question. How do I handle that? Pretty much just regrouping and starting again, kind of like that's when I got the name Phoenix. They said you always come back, like it's like you die from being with this band or whatever, and then you come back, but you come back stronger. And so they started calling me Phoenix. So yeah, I mean that's a very hard thing that's common, and it happens to everybody in bands. And that's why I'm definitely like more going forward with I Beyond Scars. It's sort of a solo project, but still working with musicians in the studio and possibly for like touring. So, but that's a very hard, common tale that a lot of bands don't survive, unless you're really, really good friends, and even that ends up messing up, at a certain point.
Why you think the majority break up? Is there egos? Are the ones that get too big of each one, or what it is?
Yeah, I mean, it could be a variety of things, but yeah, egos do get in the way. Definitely, yeah, I agree with that. It could be stuff like that, or they end up becoming like, parents, for the first time. You can't tour, you can't, I can't make it to practice, I can't, stuff like that. I mean, it happened to me, when I had my first daughter. Sorry, things totally changed for me. And definitely, like, it does, you suffer from not being there, but at the same time, that's a different type of exception. You can't, it's your family. So, but, everything happens for a reason. And, there's a reason why I'm not with them no more, or this and that. And now I'm doing it by myself.
Yes, right. Tell us a little bit more about your band, the one you're starting.
Like I said, pretty much I am doing most of the writing right now, but I'm open to collabing, and so it's pretty much me right now. But it would be nice to find some musicians so I can record with, and I do know a few that have said that, hey, I'll go ahead and help you out, So I mean, we'll take it from there. I mean, if it really does, progress from the studio. And who knows? It could become a band. I'm not closed-minded about it. So right now it's just me, and I'll be working in the studio. Probably going to Sign of Madness Studios in Mexico, and going to be working with some musicians there. So that's pretty much what that is. It's like a project. It's not a band right now. So that's I'm open to having somebody in the band and also working with them in the studio. And different collabs. If anybody out there wants to collab with me, let me know. I'm open to it. I can get some music out there.
Yeah, hopefully one of our viewers is a musician. Believe me, I'm not. but,
Yeah.
but many of our viewers are musicians. We don't know exactly who is going to be seeing this video. But hopefully you can find your musicians that you can get along, and my best wishes for you with that.
Any record labels. I'm just playing.
Yes. And how hard is to find here in the area where we live recording places? Because that's something that I if I not bad remember, they were very expensive, and because there were very few in that time. But we're talking, wow, a while back about.
Yeah. Well, I'm lucky right now that I got a good friend that's awesome, amazing producer and guitarist, and hopefully, he won't charge me too much. But he'll work something out. He's a real cool guy, and you guys should check out Son of Madness Studios. He does great work, and so hopefully, like I said, we'll work something out. And if I have to, we'll go out there and do some kind of fundraiser or something, so we can gain some money, so we can get some good quality music out there to you guys. maybe we'll do like a Kickstart thing or something. Do they still have that Kickstarter? What are the websites and everything where they raise money?
The Yes, I know which one you're talking about. The
Yeah,
GoFundMe.
yeah. Oh, that one too. Yeah, we can do that.
Yes, I remember that all of you guys used to be. It was a tough. It is not cheap being an artist. We all have to
Yeah,
spend in different things. It doesn't matter what kind of artist you are. You can be an actor or it can be a musician. Like right now we were talking, or a painter, and we. I don't think we get paid enough or we're to survive, and that's something that we all have to be aware how tough it is to be an artist. That's why I started this podcast, because I want to the people become aware that it's not easy to be an
no,
artist,
it's not.
and it's a
No,
lot of practice and a lot of time that we invest
vacation.
to get a good product of whatever we are doing.
Yes, definitely.
How many hours it takes you to write a song, or days, or months?
I think the fastest I wrote a song is probably uh, I want to say maybe like 4 hours. I remember going into the studio with the Day of Ashes and actually just having like idea, like, melodies and stuff like that. And I remember like feeling some kind of way, so I kind of let it out, and it worked out. It's a really good song. It's probably one of my favorite. It's a little dark, but it's called Breathless. So if you guys get a chance, you can go to reverbnation.com/The Day of Ashes, and you can actually hear all 8 songs are from the 2009 CD release, Turmoil. But that one was probably my quickest, I guess, yeah, my fastest, song that I wrote. Probably more emotional one too.
And what is the process? You write it like a poetry and then you put music in there, or what is the process of writing?
I found it easier to come up with with music, whether it be a guitar most of the time, or maybe some piano or something, uh, and then come up with melodies, and then kind of like I think it's like a puzzle. Like then you fit in those words, and you think about of course the subject and everything, you know, it makes itself, but it is definitely like a puzzle. I think. I don't know if that makes any sense to you.
It do make sense. It makes sense. But I always, that's why I ask, because I always thought the first you make the lyrics and then you put the music into it, but it's vice versa. First is the music and then you put the lyrics.
Well, some people can do that though. Some people are really good at that. Uh, but for me, it works a little bit better. Coming up with some music, some riffs or chords, and then kind of like just sing along to it and sing to it until I find something where I won't forget about it. And if I can remember that melody, then definitely I start putting that puzzle together and putting those words in, and that song comes to life.
How do you see yourself in 5 years, Rick?
Wow, 5 years, definitely. Still doing music, because music will always be a part of my life, no matter what stage I'm on in life, or on stage, or in the studio, or working behind the scenes, writing. Definitely doing music, and very happily married. Let's put that out there right now, because I'm about to get married in like 2 weeks. So uh,
Congratulations.
yeah, thank you. I better say that right, or I'm gonna get pop out. Uh, uh, yeah. So yeah, definitely that, and yeah, music, and a family man, and who knows, touring would be nice, and definitely touring around the world a little bit. because there's a lot of good friends of mine that I've already seen get out there, and it's about time I get back out there and go further than what I've done before.
That is very good. Would you like to add something else before we close down?
Oh, definitely. Like I said, I'm working on the new Beyond Scars music, and hopefully something will be released in 2022 for sure. And hopefully I'll get to do a show here before the year's over, a show or two or something. And also, I have a podcast coming out. It's called Rockland Revolution, where I'll be the host. And I'll be doing what you do here, interviewing some local talent, national acts, all types of stuff that we're going to be doing on there. And it's called Rockland Revolution. And, that's going to be in January. And then I also write a little bit for RG Vision magazine right now. Just pretty much, hope to be back out there and, with a new record and touring a little bit out there, meeting everybody out there. We've already got people we got fans from South Africa, sending us videos and stuff like that with fan signs that say "I Beyond Scars" and everything. If you go to our Facebook, which is facebook.com/ I Beyond Scars official. And I think that's pretty much it. I have also my solo page if you guys look me up for Rick Phoenix. And just my Break the Science Productions, which I do shows. I've done a lot of shows for the American Red Cross, and I've raised money for them. And then this past year we did it for my uncle who has stage 4 lung cancer, and he's actually doing a lot better. I'm glad to report. And only God knows, why things happen, but I definitely brought him back, to be, what's the word? He's better. He's better now, and definitely brought me out of everything and helping out for a good cause.
That is very good that you're doing that benefit for people that needs. I always think that if all of us, we cooperate with love, we can change this reality we're living right now. And I really thank you for accepting my invitation for my podcast. And
thank you for having me on. I'm sorry that everything happened yesterday. We were supposed to do it, and I had some car trouble and stuff. I got stranded and everything, but just in my hour of need, shout out to my uncle Andy Sanchez, who came to my help, and it turned out it was not as big a problem as I thought it was, and I got the car home, and I'm totally fine. I had to pay anything, so I'm not gonna wait. Hopefully nothing happens. But yeah.
No, everything happened for a reason, and everything timing is perfect. Thank you, Rick, for being here. And now I'm going to talk about what we're going to have the next week. And what is also a news that I wanted to give to everybody regarding the Heart of the Artist Talk podcast. At the end of the month, I have already 2 podcasts, and I'm not having a live. So, and I have kids. So, and as a single mom, I need to put in balance what I can do, what I can't do anymore. So at the end of the month, the Heart of the Artist podcast is going to be closing. I only going to stay with Soul Talk. That is on Mondays at 7 p.m. So tomorrow in Soul Talk, we have Nicole Duval. She's a transformation empowerment coach, Reiki master for humans and for animals, as well as certified energy healer. And the next Sunday, in the Heart of the Artist Talk, we have Ana Marie Minerals, that she is really an artist in all the knowledge that she have about minerals, and it's going to be very, very interesting actually to listen to her. And I really appreciate all your support. We have PayPal for donations, that I will put the link underneath, so like that I will appreciate any donations from anybody. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And thank you, Rick. It was really my pleasure to have you here, have this conversation. And to all our viewers at the same time, for being here and for seeing also the ones that come in later on for the replay. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
we're meant to
Thank you,
be
Rick.
in the great outdoors, forever free. Sometimes you need to go and take a step back to see the truth around you. From a distance you can tell